Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. Welcome back to my channel, Science of Healing. Today we're going to talk about something that could change the way you look at food forever, because inside your body right now, you have an incredible repair system working 24 hours a day, your stem cells. These are the master cells, the cells that help regenerate tissue, repair damage, support your immune system, and keep you feeling younger, stronger, and more resilient. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Your lifestyle and diet can either support these powerful cells or slowly weaken them. And when stem cell function declines, inflammation rises, fat becomes harder to burn, and the risk of chronic diseases, including cancer, increases. The good news is this: certain foods contain natural compounds that help protect stem cells, reduce inflammation, support healthy metabolism, and create an internal environment that makes it harder for harmful cells to thrive. Today we'll break down 5 science-backed foods that can help support stem cell health, strengthen your body's natural defenses, and help you burn fat more efficiently, along with simple ways to use them in your daily routine. Let's begin. Right now, inside your body, there is a silent army working around the clock to keep you alive, repair damage, and fight disease. And most people have no idea it even exists. These are your stem cells. They are the master cells of the human body, the original blueprint from which all other cells are created. And every second of every day, they are rebuilding you from the inside out. When you cut your skin, stem cells rush to the injury and begin forming new tissue. When your muscles are strained, stem cells help repair the fibers. When your immune system is under attack, stem cells help produce the very cells that defend your life. This is not science fiction. This is happening inside you right now. Scientists in the field of regenerative medicine have discovered that stem cells are responsible for the body's ability to heal, regenerate, and maintain health throughout your lifetime. But here's the shocking truth most people never hear. Your stem cells are not guaranteed to stay strong forever. In fact, research shows that the number and function of stem cells decline with age, and that decline can begin earlier than you think. By your 30s and 40s, your body may already be producing fewer active stem cells than it did in your youth. By your 50s and 60s, that decline can accelerate dramatically. And when stem cell activity drops, the consequences can be devastating. Healing slows down, energy levels fall, inflammation rises, fat begins to accumulate, especially around the belly, and the risk of chronic diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers, begins to climb. This is why 2 people of the same age can look completely different. One person feels strong, energetic, and mentally sharp. The other feels tired, inflamed, and stuck in a cycle of weight gain and declining health. The difference is often happening at the cellular level, because stem cells are like the maintenance crew of your body, and when that crew becomes weak or overwhelmed, damage starts to pile up faster than it can be repaired. But here's where the story becomes even more important. Modern research has revealed that your daily lifestyle, especially your diet, can directly influence how well your stem cells function. In other words, the choices you make at the dinner table today can determine how your body heals tomorrow. One of the biggest threats to stem cells is chronic inflammation. Not the short-term inflammation that helps you heal after an injury, but the silent, low-grade inflammation that smolders inside the body for years without obvious symptoms. This hidden inflammation slowly damages tissues, disrupts metabolism, and creates an environment where disease can grow. It also interferes with the ability of stem cells to do their job. Scientists have found that chronic inflammation can reduce stem cell survival, limit their ability to divide, and weaken their regenerative power. And here's the alarming part. Many of the most common habits in modern life fuel this inflammation every single day. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, poor sleep, chronic stress, physical inactivity. These factors don't just affect your weight or your energy levels. They affect the very cells responsible for keeping you alive and healthy. But there is also extraordinary hope. because the same science that reveals the problem also shows us the solution. Researchers have discovered that certain nutrients and natural compounds found in whole foods can help protect stem cells, reduce inflammation, and support the body's natural repair systems. These foods don't perform miracles overnight. They don't replace medical treatment, and they are not magic cures, but they create the conditions your body needs to heal itself more effectively. Think of your stem cells like seeds in a garden. If the soil is dry, toxic, and neglected, the seeds struggle to grow. But if the soil is rich, nourished, and protected, those same seeds can flourish. Your body works the same way. When you feed it nutrient-dense foods, maintain healthy movement, and reduce inflammation, you create an internal environment where stem cells can thrive. And when stem cells thrive, healing improves. Energy increases. Metabolism becomes more efficient. Fat becomes easier to burn. And the body becomes more resilient against disease. One of the most fascinating discoveries in recent years is that lifestyle changes can influence something called cellular regeneration, the process by which the body replaces damaged cells with healthy new ones. This process is essential for longevity because every organ in your body depends on it. Your skin, your muscles, your liver, your brain, your immune system, all of them rely on healthy stem cell activity. And when that activity slows down, aging accelerates. But when it is supported, the body maintains strength and function for longer than most people expect. Researchers studying aging populations have found that individuals who follow anti-inflammatory diets, stay physically active, and maintain healthy body weight often preserve better stem cell function well into later life. They recover faster from illness. They maintain muscle mass longer. They experience fewer metabolic problems, and they often enjoy a higher quality of life. This is not about chasing youth. It is about protecting the biological systems that keep you alive, because the truth is simple but powerful. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself. Every day, millions of cells die and are replaced by new ones. Every day, tissues are repaired. Every day, your internal systems fight to maintain balance. And at the center of this process are your stem cells. They are your body's natural repair system. They are your defense against aging. They are your protection against injury. They are your foundation for long-term health, but they cannot do their job alone. They depend on the environment you create inside your body. They depend on the nutrients you provide. They depend on the habits you repeat. They depend on the choices you make every single day. And the most powerful realization of all is this: you have more control than you think. You cannot stop time. You cannot eliminate every risk, but you can support the systems that protect your health. You can reduce inflammation. You can nourish your cells. You can strengthen your body's natural ability to repair itself, because health is not built in a single moment. It is built meal by meal, step by step, day by day. And the sooner you start supporting your stem cells, the stronger your body can become, not just today, but for years to come. What if the most powerful medicine in the world isn't found in a pharmacy, but sitting quietly on your dinner plate right now? What if the foods you eat every single day are sending instructions to your cells, telling them to heal, to defend, or in some cases, to slowly break down? This is not a theory. This is the new frontier of science known as nutritional genomics, where researchers have discovered that certain natural compounds in food can literally switch genes on and off, influencing inflammation, metabolism, and even the survival of abnormal cells. In other words, food is not just calories. Food is information. Every bite you take sends chemical signals into your bloodstream, reaching deep into your tissues, communicating with your immune system, and interacting with your DNA. And some foods carry compounds so powerful that scientists have spent decades studying how they protect the body against chronic disease. One of the most remarkable discoveries in modern medicine is that many diseases do not appear overnight. They develop slowly, silently, over years, driven by chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolic dysfunction. These invisible processes damage cells long before symptoms appear, long before the diagnosis, long before the warning signs. But here's the hopeful part of the story. Researchers have found that certain plant compounds, called phytonutrients, can interrupt these damaging processes at the cellular level. They reduce inflammation. They neutralize harmful molecules known as free radicals. They support the immune system's ability to identify and remove abnormal cells. And perhaps most importantly, they help create an internal environment where healthy cells can thrive. Let's start with a compound that has captured the attention of scientists around the world: sulforaphane. This powerful natural substance is found in cruciferous vegetables, especially young broccoli sprouts. Laboratory studies have shown that sulforaphane activates the body's natural detoxification enzymes, the very systems responsible for clearing harmful toxins and carcinogens from the body. It also stimulates the production of antioxidants that protect cells from DNA damage. That's why populations that consume more cruciferous vegetables consistently show lower rates of certain cancers and inflammatory diseases, not because of one miracle food, but because of the protective compounds working quietly inside their bodies. Then there is another compound that has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine and is now being studied in modern laboratories around the world: curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric. Scientists have discovered that curcumin can influence dozens of molecular pathways involved in inflammation, immune response, and cellular survival. It has been shown to reduce inflammatory markers in the bloodstream, the same markers linked to heart disease, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. And when inflammation drops, something extraordinary begins to happen. The body becomes more efficient, metabolism improves, fat burning increases, energy levels rise. Because inflammation is not just about pain or swelling, it is about how well your cells function. And when your cells function better, your entire body follows. Now consider another everyday beverage that has been consumed for centuries, yet continues to amaze scientists with its health benefits: green tea. Inside each cup are compounds called catechins, particularly one known as EGCG. These molecules act as powerful antioxidants, protecting cells from oxidative stress, one of the primary drivers of aging and disease. Studies have shown that green tea can increase fat oxidation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support cardiovascular health. But the most fascinating discovery is how these compounds support cellular defense systems. They help the body recognize damaged or abnormal cells and remove them before they can multiply. This is one of the body's most important survival mechanisms, a process known as cellular surveillance. And the strength of this system depends heavily on nutrition. Then there are berries, small, colorful fruits that pack an extraordinary concentration of protective compounds. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries contain polyphenols that help reduce inflammation, improve blood vessel function, and support brain health. These compounds have been shown to protect neurons from damage, improve memory, and slow age-related decline in cognitive function. But berries also play a powerful role in metabolic health. Their fiber helps regulate blood sugar, their antioxidants reduce oxidative stress, and their natural sweetness satisfies cravings without triggering the spikes and crashes caused by processed sugar. This combination makes them one of the most effective foods for supporting healthy weight management. And then we come to one of the most essential nutrients for long-term health: omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are found in fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Omega-3s are not just nutrients. They are structural components of your cells. They help maintain the integrity of cell membranes, regulate inflammation, and support communication between cells throughout the body. Research has shown that people with higher omega-3 intake often have lower levels of visceral fat, the dangerous fat stored deep inside the abdomen around vital organs. This type of fat is strongly linked to heart disease, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. Reducing it can dramatically improve metabolic health and longevity. But here is the most important message of all. These foods do not work in isolation. They work together. They create a network of protection inside your body, strengthening your immune system, supporting cellular repair, and improving metabolic balance. And their power lies not in occasional use, but in daily consistency. Because the body responds to patterns. What you eat once in a while has little impact. What you eat every day shapes your future. Every meal is an opportunity to support your cells. Every snack is a chance to reduce inflammation. Every healthy choice is a step toward stronger, more resilient health. You don't need exotic supplements. You don't need extreme diets. You don't need complicated routines. You need simple, science-backed habits repeated consistently over time. A handful of vegetables, a cup of tea, a serving of berries, a portion of healthy fats. These small choices may seem ordinary, but inside your body, they trigger extraordinary changes. They activate protective genes. They strengthen cellular defenses. They help your body resist disease. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us of a truth that modern science continues to confirm. The most powerful medicine is not always found in a bottle. Sometimes it is found in the foods you choose to eat every single day. Most people completely misunderstand what actually changes a human body. They think it is one superfood, one supplement, one perfect diet plan that suddenly transforms everything overnight. But inside the human body, change doesn't work like a switch. It works like a signal repeated over time. And this is where science becomes both humbling and powerful at the same time. Because researchers studying metabolism, inflammation, and cellular health have repeatedly found one simple truth. Your body responds far more to what you do consistently than what you do occasionally. Not the perfect meal once in a while, not the extreme diet for a few days, but the repeated daily patterns that shape your internal environment over months and years. Every bite you take sends molecular signals into your bloodstream. Every meal influences hormones. Every snack affects inflammation. And every repeated choice either supports your cells or slowly works against them. This is not motivational theory. This is biology. Your body is constantly adapting based on inputs. If you repeatedly consume highly processed foods, refined sugars, and inflammatory oils, your body gradually shifts toward a state of chronic inflammation. But if you repeatedly consume whole, nutrient-dense foods rich in antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats, your body gradually shifts toward repair, balance, and resilience. And the most important word in all of this is not perfect, it is consistent, because consistency is what the body recognizes as a long-term environment. Scientists studying metabolic health have found that even small daily habits, when repeated over time, can significantly reduce risk factors associated with chronic disease. Not because of intensity, but because of repetition. Think about it like this. One healthy meal does not rebuild your metabolism. One sugary meal does not destroy your health. But thousands of meals over years, that is what creates the outcome. This is why two people of the same age can look and feel dramatically different. One person eats healthy sometimes, but inconsistently. The other may not be perfect, but they repeat simple, healthy choices every single day. And over time, their bodies diverge in ways that seem almost unbelievable. One body becomes inflamed, fatigued, and metabolically slow. The other becomes more stable, more energetic, and more efficient at burning fuel. This is the silent power of consistency. And it goes even deeper at the cellular level. Your cells are constantly renewing. Your skin cells regenerate roughly every few weeks. Your liver cells replace themselves over months. Even parts of your brain are continuously adapting based on lifestyle and nutrition. That means the environment you create today is literally shaping the cells you will have in the future. This is not abstract science. This is ongoing biological construction, and every meal is part of that construction process. When you eat antioxidant-rich foods regularly, you are not just eating healthy, you are repeatedly reducing oxidative stress, one of the major drivers of cellular aging. When you consistently consume fiber-rich foods, you are not just improving digestion, you are feeding beneficial gut bacteria that regulate immune function, inflammation, and even mood. When you consistently include healthy fats like omega-3s, you are not just protecting your heart, you are strengthening cell membranes, improving communication between cells, and supporting brain function at a structural level. But here is where most people get stuck. They expect instant transformation. And when they don't see dramatic results in a few days or weeks, they give up. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings in health behavior, because the human body is not designed for instant rewiring. It is designed for adaptation over time. Researchers in behavioral nutrition have found that sustainable health improvements almost always come from small, repeatable habits rather than extreme short-term interventions. That means a simple breakfast you can maintain for years is far more powerful than a complicated diet you quit in weeks. A daily cup of green tea is more impactful than a short detox. A handful of berries most days is more powerful than occasional superfood binges. Because the body does not measure effort in intensity. It measures signals over time. And repeated signals become biological reality. This is especially important when it comes to inflammation, one of the most critical factors in long-term health. Chronic inflammation does not develop in a single day. It builds slowly, silently, through repeated exposure to stressors in diet and lifestyle. But the same principle applies in reverse. Anti-inflammatory eating does not heal the body instantly. It gradually lowers the inflammatory load over time, bit by bit, day by day, meal by meal. And as inflammation decreases, the body begins to shift. Energy improves. Digestion becomes more stable. Recovery becomes faster. And metabolic function becomes more efficient. But again, none of this happens from perfection. It happens from repetition. Even imperfect consistency is powerful. A person who eats healthy 80% of the time will often experience far greater long-term benefits than someone who is perfect for a short period and then returns to old habits. Because biology responds to patterns, not extremes. And your body is always asking one question at a cellular level. What is my environment like most of the time? That answer determines how your genes express themselves, how your metabolism functions, and how efficiently your body repairs itself. This is why modern research in lifestyle medicine emphasizes long-term habits over short-term interventions, because the body is not a machine you fix once. It is a system you influence continuously. And the most powerful influence you have is repetition. Think about hydration. Drinking water once does nothing meaningful for long-term health. But drinking enough water every day supports every system in your body, from circulation to digestion to cognitive function. Think about movement. One workout is beneficial, but consistent movement throughout the week changes cardiovascular health, insulin sensitivity, and even brain chemistry. Think about sleep. One good night is refreshing, but consistent sleep patterns regulate hormones, immune response, and metabolic balance. Everything in human biology is rhythmic. Everything responds to patterns, and your health is the sum of those patterns. So when we talk about nutrition, the goal is not perfection. The goal is alignment. Alignment with habits that support your biology instead of working against it. Because over time, your body becomes a reflection of what you repeatedly do. not what you occasionally do. And this is where true transformation happens quietly, not in dramatic moments, but in unnoticed daily decisions. The food you choose when you are tired, or the drink you choose when you are thirsty, the snack you reach for when you are stressed. These moments seem small, but multiplied over months and years, they become powerful biological signals. And those signals shape your future health in ways most people never fully appreciate until much later in life. But the opportunity is always present. At every meal, at every choice, at every moment, you decide what to put into your body, because consistency is not about being perfect. It is about returning again and again to choices that support your health. And over time, those choices do something extraordinary. They stop being choices. They become your biology.